is very talkative, but in a good way, not in an annoying way. You know?
That is an important distinction.
Some people, they talk a lot, you know, like me.
Right.
Kind of annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got stuff to say.
Ooh, self-burn.
Sasser gets really excited. I bet he has some opinions on the London Mulligan.
Us Bama boys. You know.
There you see Sasser putting the 1 card to the bottom for the 6 and shuffles up for Daniels to take a look at his 5.
All right, Vincent going to be taking a look at this 5-card hand. Going to see if it's keepable. I know that when I played a bit with the Oko Urza deck, my experience was not so much the like turn 1 play 6 permanents, but way more of the have a Mox Opal for 5 turns that doesn't get turned on. You know?
I'm no stranger to that.
Those feel bad. It's like, oh, well, I have 2 Metallic Rebuke and 2 Cryptic Commands and 2 lands and a Mox Opal. That one, I guess, I don't know. I guess we keep it. I don't know.
Gilded Goose, go. Mystic Sanctuary, tapped.
Yeah. Yo, my goose died to a removal spell. Your turn.
Daniel's keeping on 5. Misty Rainforest and a pass. We see Sasser fetch up to cast a Noble Hierarch, going to 17 off a Breeding Pool.
You know, in like round 4 or 5 or something, I watched Drake fetch Temple Garden. Second land was Field of Ruin, and he was playing against Amulet Titan because he wanted to protect from bounce land. Opponent had played turn 1 Amulet of Vigor. And opponent, on their turn 3, they were on the play. They played Talaria West, floated, or they had 2 Amulet of Vigors, rather. They floated 2 mana off of it, cast Karn the Great Creator, and Drake looks down at his hand. He has a fetch land, which could have gotten blue mana. Force a negation, and, I don't know, like a Teferi Time Raveler or something, and just couldn't hard cast the Force of negation because he got Temple Garden, and I just yelled at him for like an hour.
Yikes. I don't know what that was, but now we're back to the match.
I think that was the previous recorded match. I don't know. Who cares? Doesn't
Daniels
matter.
to 19, found a Breeding Pool. Pluto Delta is the second land. Back to Sasser, Snow-Covered Plains, and Stoneforge Mystic. It was a glitch in the Matrix.
Yeah.
Sword of Feast and Famine is the find.
Now, I actually think I peeked a multicolor spell in Vincent Daniels' hand. There's not a whole lot on his list, but Abrupt Decay is one of them in the Sultai deck. Seems like that card is going to be pretty good in this particular matchup. I'm curious if he's going to fire it off here and kill one of these creatures, or if he's going to maybe try to save it for the Sword of Feast and Famine. But that is not the face of a man who has a play this turn.
No, not even a land. Sasser used Hierarch to cast Hierarch. Daniels just drew and passed. And now we get back over to Drake Sasser. He's going to play Misty Rainforest. A good amount of mana to work with. We know about a Sword of Feast and Famine in hand. He's going to cast a second Stoneforge Mystic.
Now, this is going to allow him to do is tutor up Batterskull. And then with the first Stoneforge Mystic, he's able to put the Batterskull onto the battlefield. Next turn, he can follow that up with Sword of Feast and Famine. And he can do all this without actually casting spells thanks to the Stoneforge Mystic's ability. Which allows him to play around those counterspells. It could be Vincent Daniels' hand. Doesn't seem like he has too many artifacts, you know.
Noble Hierarch attacks for 2. Daniels to 17.
I'm going to have to talk to him about that one, too.
How's that?
Because now his Stoneforge Mystic is going to get blown up in response to the fetch. He's not going to be able to put the Batterskull in. Or, that could have happened.
Yeah, so you would have liked to have seen him just fetch before he attacks.
Yes. Fetch before attack is the safest play. This is very Legacy-esque because Stoneforge Mystic saw a ton of Legacy play for a very long time. And little things like that, the little micro interactions between fetch lands, activated abilities and such, really sometimes just completely boned you if you did them out of sequence. Like, there's this weird trick with Stoneforge Mystic where you actually put the activated ability of Batterskull in the stack to return to your hand, and before that resolves, or sorry, you do it the other way. Activate Stoneforge Mystic, and then with that ability on the stack, you bounce Batterskull. Because if you just spin 3 to bounce Batterskull, your opponent can bolt your Stoneforge Mystic in response, and then you just have Batterskull in hand. Can't even reset it. Micro interactions.
That's the kind of thing you could probably play Legacy for 3 years and never realize if nobody told you.
Right. No, I mean, I had a lot of really smart people around me when I was playing a lot of Legacy back in the early 20-aughts. Is that what we're calling them? The 20-teens? The 20-aughts?
The oddies.
The oddies?
Yeah.
Wow, that's horrible. Oh, wait, no, it's the 20-teens, right? The oddies were the 2000s.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So during the
the
20-teens,
teens.
you know, played a lot of Magic with a younger Jerry Thompson. And he was very smart.
Still is.
Well, less so, but look, as you get older, that's just how it goes. All right, well, that Abrupt Decay does take care of the Germ token, which means that no damage was dealt to Vincent Daniels. He's got a lot more time, but passing on the turn, still stuck on 2 land, and Drake here are going to start, I don't know, piling on the damage. With sort of Feast of Famine, unless Daniels has another way to kill it.
So Feast of Famine in, Daniel's still missing that 3rd land drop. He's at 14 because they had to fetch Shock for the Decay. Sword of Feast and Famine equipped to a Stoneforge Mystic. Making a double Exalted attack for 5. Daniel's to 9. He will discard a card, and Sasser will untap those lands.
Yeah, and he has a Spellcaller at the ready, as well as a Dismember. I think he's got this one relatively wrapped up, just waiting on Daniels to start casting some stuff so he can play his reactive spells and really put the hammer down. Because once Vincent Daniels lets the shields down, that Batterskull is just going to get equipped, and it's going to end the game.
Well, there's that 3rd land. It's Polluted Delta. Daniels fetches to 8. But through a Spell Queller, it's going to be really tough to do anything relevant.
I didn't even see Spellcaller in hand. You just know how I knew. Because there's an Oko uncast.
Well, there's an Oko cast by Daniels, and there is the Spell Queller.
Yeah, and that's going to leave him tapped out. That Spellcaller is going to come down. There's 4 power worth of attackers, plus the Batterskull being equipped, plus the Sword of Feast and Famine. That's all she wrote for Vincent Daniels. We're going to have our 4th member of our top 4 here in Knoxville.
Yeah, Sasser will be able to roll this up this turn. Daniels is tapped out.
Doing some rudimentary arithmetic.
You don't want to miss it.
Even us Bama boys can figure out 1 + 1 + 2 + 2 + 4.
I mean,
okay?
Yeah, it's 1 + 2 + 4 + 1 + 1 if you just want to attack with a Stoneforge Mystic. Fetches to 15. Here's that equip. Stoneforge Mystic. Lethal on its own, lethal with the team, however you want to do it. Cast another spell, whatever. Noble Hierarch.
Overkill.
Here comes the Mystic. If you remember those Exalted triggers, you're good here. 7 + 3, that's 10. Vincent Daniels dispatched by Drake Sasser.